How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And today we're going to be doing another pumpkin ale. It's August in Pennsylvania, so that means it's pumpkin beer season. Yeah, I know, it doesn't make much sense. Pumpkin beers should typically come out in the fall, you would imagine, but for some reason they release these beers in late summer. So it is what it is. But today we're going to be doing a pumpkin beer from a local brewery. Semi-local to me. I live in northeastern Pennsylvania up by the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area. This is down in the Lehigh Valley, which is about 45 minutes away. And it is from Fegley's Brewworks. Fegley's Brewworks Devious Imperial Pumpkin Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. Fegley Brewworks is part of the Bethlehem, Allentown Brewworks Brew Pub. They've been around for quite a while. I did live in the Lehigh Valley, so I did frequent their brew pub quite often. Was never a humongous fan of their beers, but about last year during fall season, I did have this beer on draft at a local place, and dare to say it might have been one of my favorite pumpkin beers. Even though I'm not a huge pumpkin beer guy, so that's not saying much, but in the end, it was one of my favorite pumpkin beers, so I'm quite curious what it tastes like out of the bottle, because I've never had it out of the bottle. Anyway, Fegley's Brewworks Devious Imperial Pumpkin Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. That's what it says in the front. As far as what it says on the side, it says, brewed at Allentown Brewworks, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Handcrafted in our small brewery with great pride. Family run, urban made, and fiercely independent since 1998. I think I've been going there since 1998. Maybe. I remember going there quite a long while ago. On the other side, it just has your government warning stuff and the refund stuff. Label-wise, it's pretty cool. I mean, nothing to write home about. The artwork is alright. Nothing too crazy, but all in all, I'd give it like a little more than a thumb sideways. A thumb down, a thumbs up, somewhere out there. That's cool, label. Not too much to it. Cap's kind of cool. It's got a little North Star thing on there. I think that's Fegley's trademark, or nautical type star there. So yeah, interested to see what we got going on here with this pumpkin beer. My big gripe with pumpkin beers in general is they're usually super on the nose when it comes to pumpkin, but rarely do they deliver in taste. I can smell a ton of pumpkin coming out of it right now, so obviously the nose is going to have it. So let's see what else it has nose-wise if there's more than pumpkin. That's good. I expected to be a little bit stronger pumpkin from what I smelled from pouring it, but it's very, very nice, not overbearing. Typical pumpkin beer smell. You're going to get your pumpkin, you're going to get your clove, you're going to get your gingerbreadish type cookie smell. Maybe the hint of malt, zero hops whatsoever. But it's very, very pleasing on the nose. I mean, it's really nice, actually. It smells fantastic. As far as body, not much density to it. Very, very clear. Nice, mix between a brownish, rubyish red, somewhere in between there. Not too dark, not too light. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty sexy-wise. Got a little bit of carbonation going in there. Don't expect a ton mouthfeel-wise off the view of the body. So let's see what she has to offer taste-wise. That's some good beer. That's a good pumpkin beer. And this is my gripe. Not with this one, with the other ones. Like I said, pumpkin beers rarely taste of pumpkin. This beer tastes of pumpkin. Not only does it taste of pumpkin, but it also tastes all those same notes that I had in the nose. You're getting a little bit of gingerbread. You're getting a little bit of clove, but they're all evenly balanced. One's not overpowering the other. Typically, when I have a pumpkin beer, it's a ton of clove, or it's a ton of gingerbread. It's like it's one just overpowers the other. This is exactly what I remember of it from being on draft. It is. I will tell you right now, before I even rate it, this is the best pumpkin beer I've ever had. I like it better than Pumkin. There's a close second. I'm going to try to track it down. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but a close second. I'm going to try to grab it to review it. It hasn't reached my area yet, but when we get there. But this is probably my favorite pumpkin beer. Mouthfeel-wise, a little bit better than what I expected. It's not super dense, but it's not thin by any means. Definitely creamy enough to make it delicious. This is a good beer. It's super drinkable. Like, it's not overly sweet. It's got the tiniest little bit of spiciness on the back that you expect with like I said, with like if you're eating like a gingerbread house, where that gingerbread has that little nice little spice on the end of it. It's exactly what it is. Definitely getting a pumpkin in there, which to me is probably the first thing that should have happened with pumpkin beers, which you rarely do, or which you rarely get. I mean, but overall, I mean, I've only reviewed Pumkin a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, but I've had a bunch of them. I've had local breweries, SBCs. I've had I believe I had a bunch of them. Long Trail, maybe Chipyards, Muddy Nose, or pretty much any pumpkin beer that comes in the area. I give it a whirl because I love pumpkin. Pumpkin pie is probably my favorite dessert in the earth. So it's something I actually like in a beer, but they all just missed a mark when it comes to that pumpkin taste. This doesn't. This is a really good pumpkin beer. Now, I'm going to rate it on a pumpkin beer scale. I'm not going to rate it as a... Well, actually, yeah. I'm going to rate it on a pumpkin beer overall scale. I'm not going to... Because I'd probably give it like a close to perfect score based on just pumpkin beer. So I'm going to rate it on just a general scale. But out of pumpkin beers, it's going to be the best. As an overall beer, you're probably looking at about a 90. It's not like a super great... I shouldn't even say that. It's a really, really good beer. But there's just... In my eyes, there's so many amazing beers out there. It's tough to give a beer that, even though I like it for what it is, a much higher score. 90 is a great score for a beer. I would give this beer a 90, maybe even a little bit higher if I wanted to think about it a little bit more. So low 90s, 90 to 92, let's go there. As far as availability, in this area, I live at 45 minutes away, so typically I can pick it up whenever I want. So that's not, in this area it's going to be availability of 8. Probably is not that way where you are, because I'm pretty sure that Fegley's doesn't get huge distribution, but again, in this area, an 8. As far as value, I think I paid like $11 for a 4-pack. That's not bad at all, especially for this quality of beer, so I'd give it an 8 again as far as value. So overall, between a 90 to 92, and 8s on a value and availability scale. So it's a really great pumpkin beer. I mean, if you're a pumpkin beer junkie and you can get this, or if you don't live in this area and you can't get it and you can do some kind of bottle trade with somebody, I would highly recommend picking it up. Like I said, out of all the pumpkin beers I have had, even though I've only reviewed one of them, I've had quite a few. Of all my had, it's probably my favorite pumpkin beer. So yeah, Fegley's, good job. Keep producing stuff like this, and then I will sing your praises. So yeah, it's another review in the books. Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. If you enjoyed the review, if you hate the review, if you whatever, please comment in the comment section below. Share, like, all that fun stuff. We could definitely use more followers, subscribers. If you'd like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. At any of those places at Massive Beers. So yeah, check us out there. If you want to check us out anywhere, one place in particular, Instagram is probably the best. We update everything on there, and stuff for drinking, stuff for not reviewing, and all that stuff. So definitely check us out there. We run contests from time to time too, so give it a whirl, follow us. And yeah, like I said, another review in the books. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're drinking a good beer. No, hopefully you're drinking a great beer. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Cheers.